Today guys, we got the high elo Ambessa guide. We're going to go over her runes, her builds, and how to play her in the early game, the mid game, and in the team fights. And if you're wondering why I'm making this guide, it's because with Ambessa being out for about 3 to 4 months now, she might be my 7th most mastery champion, so I've played her quite a lot. Let's get into it. When it comes to runes for Ambessa, there are 3 main options. The first one is Grasp with Domination, the second one is Grasp with Inspiration, and the third one is Electrocute with Resolve. I'm going to break down each page and the reason you would go it. Grasp and Domination, you're going to go when you have free lanes playing against either tanks or bruisers. Bruisers though are going to be the ones that are more low mobility, easier for you to lane against. It allows you to scale really well with Ultimate Hunter and getting free Grasp stacks in lane. It'll make you a beast later. Grasp with Inspiration, you're going to go into harder, more mobile lanes usually, like against Riven, Camille, Irelia, or against things like Kennen, where you might take Exhaust or Ignite to help you in the all-in. Taking Cosmic Insight will allow you to get that Summoner spell more often, and Biscuits will help you survive the early lane and dives. Now for Electrocute and Resolve, this is going to be a page that is good in most situations. It'll be good in most of your lanes, it'll just shift the way you trade. Gives you a little bit more power early at the cost of survivability, and in my opinion, if you play this page, you need to be making use of it in the early laning. You need to be trading aggressively. You don't always have to go D-Blade in these situations. You can go D-Shield with Electrocute, but you need to be making use of the Electrocute procs in the early game. For the builds, just like her runes, you're going to have 3 main ones. You're going to have Full Bruiser, Full Lethality, and Half and Half. I'm going to break down each build and explain the strengths of each one. For the Full Bruiser, that's the core of Eclipse into Shojin into Sterax. This is good into champions with low cooldowns and heavy sustain. It allows you to take repeated short trades rather than needing to rely on a bunch of upfront damage to land to guarantee a kill. If you're new to Ambessa and trying to learn her, I would start here, as this to me is the training wheels build. The next, we got Full Lethality. This is the core of Voltaic into Edge into Cerilda. This gives you a lot more upfront burst potential against all champions, and it does well into tanks thanks to Ambessa's percent armor pen scaling on her ult. It just makes you more vulnerable to getting CC'd and dying if you position poorly. This is the high risk, high reward build. And last but not least, we got the Half and Half build. This is when you go Eclipse into Voltaic into Shojin, and it allows you to meet in the middle, make your short trades more bursty, but lose out on some one-shot potential. The great thing about this build, it allows you to be flexible on your 4 and 5 items. You can either opt into more bruiser items if there's nobody really for you to one-shot and you need to be able to survive repeated trades, or you can opt into more lethality and spec into specific items like maybe Serpent's Fang or Edge of Night and go a little bit more upfront damage. This build is very flexible, good at everything, not great at anything. And for her boots, Ambessa can really go any boots, it just depends on the situation. You can go Swifties, Steel Caps, Mercs, or Symbiotic if you're a Giga Chad. I'd really only go Swifties into specific champions like maybe Olaf or Nasus. Other than that, I'm probably going to go defensive boots. But if you're me and you've played a lot of Ambessa and you know the strength of Symbiotic, I'm probably going to end up going Symbiotics in a lot of games. For Ambessa's early laning, depending on if you have Grasp or Electrocute, there's going to be some slight differences. With Grasp, you're going to want to look for short trades where you're getting a lot of Grasp procs off, making sure to use your W with Shield Bash, and trying to use your Q1 and your Q2 to proc Sudden Impact repeatedly. You have a lot of short trading power with this page, you just need to be mindful of getting chased down against some bruisers as your cooldowns are extremely long. Another thing to note is if you don't go Domination second and you have Inspiration, you lose a little bit of power as you don't have Sudden Impact, but you have more survivability with the Biscuits, and if you're taking Cosmic Insight, you might have a Battlesome as well, like Ignite or Exhaust, which gives you a little bit more power in that early laning. If you have Electrocute, it's going to be similar, where you will still be taking short trades in the early part of the lane, but you have a lot more power at level 1 to 3 as you can walk right into your lane and start using your runes. Using Electrocute to fight back against strong level 1 to 3 champions is going to be extremely pivotal in getting a lot of use out of this page. You're looking to proc Electrocute and then exit trades repeatedly. You do this, whittle the person down, you don't overextend your trades. You don't have Grasp to heal you up during the lane, so you need to be mindful playing against champions that do have sustain. If you have Electrocute, it's going to be a little bit more risky. But if you're playing against champions where you don't need Grasp to survive the lane, but if you have Electrocute, it allows you to win it harder, it's going to make a huge difference making sure to proc your Electrocute on cooldown. Ambessa is at her best in the mid game when you can be playing in the side lane. You want to be getting side lane shove and then move to developing plays. You want to see that spells are being used, health bars are getting lower, the enemy is mispositioning. Ambessa is a great flanker and she performs really well in fights when she can come from unique angles. She also performs really well in the 1v1 in the side lane, making her that great side laner that can stay, 1v1 the opponent, be winning the 1v1 and then move to plays on different parts of the map. When you're ahead, you're looking to potentially just fast shove waves over and over and threaten moves around the map. She isn't really a tower beater unless fights are completely lost. She is a fight disruptor. You want to be in the side lane, shove the waves, maybe fight the opponent if he can test you, and if not, move to plays on cooldown. Now we're in the late game and we're team fighting. Ambessa, just like in the mid game, performs best coming into fights from unique angles. You want to be looking to flank, single people out, or catch off the mispositioned enemies. Depending on your build, you might have more burst or more sustained damage, but the objective stays the same. We don't want to dive in 1v5, get CC'd, and die. We want to be patient, pick our spot properly in the fight, play off teammate CCs. You can patiently hit what is in front of you at first, but you want to be looking at who you can single out in the fight and potentially get on. If you can track summoners and know a carry has no flash in the backline, be more than willing to dive in and try to kill them. Don't be afraid to pull the trigger. Just make sure you aren't there on the front part of the fight. You want to be coming off unique angles off to the side of the fight, threatening that you can always come in. And that's it, guys. That is the full Ambessa high elo guide, breaking down everything, all her builds, her runes, the way you fight, the way you play the whole game. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this will help you go dominate your games with Ambessa, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.